What is accumulated depreciation and how can you take advantage of it? In this episode, you will be learning the meaning of accumulated depreciation and the numerous benefits associated with it. Stay tuned. Accumulated depreciation is the total amount of depreciation expense assigned to a particular asset since the asset was deployed for usage. In simple words, accumulated depreciation is the entire amount of depreciation of a company's assets. Since depreciation expense is an important factor of accumulated depreciation, you ought to understand its meaning. Depreciation expense is the cost of an asset that has been depreciated for a single period and displays how much of the asset's value has been used up within that year. Depreciation expense is often identified on the income statement as a non-cash expense that lowers the company's net income. Accumulated depreciation is often referred to as a contra-asset account. This implies that accumulated depreciation is a negative asset account that focuses on offsetting the balance within the asset account associated with it. Hence, every company often has accumulated depreciation accounts as a contra-asset account on their balance sheet. Accumulated depreciation is seen as a reduction from the gross amount of fixed assets. Hence, it stands as a credit balance in a company's financial record. Accumulated depreciation specifies the total amount of an asset's wear-to-date in the asset's useful life. So what is the impact of accelerated depreciation on your business? When a business decides to deploy an accumulated depreciation account, it may have to use an accelerated depreciation methodology. Deploying this effective method will make the balance in the accumulated depreciation account increase exponentially within a short period. Keep in mind that the accelerated depreciation methodology charges more of an asset's cost to expense during its earlier years of usage. Hence, the business will be thankful for deploying this effective method. The use of accelerated depreciation also makes it more challenging to monitor the duration of the reporting entity of the fixed assets. This is possible because the proportion of accumulated depreciation to fixed assets is higher than would normally be the case. How is accumulated depreciation presented on a company's balance sheet? Accumulated depreciation is usually presented on the balance sheet as a deduction from the gross amount of fixed assets reported. In most cases, it is reported as a single line item. However, a more detailed balance sheet may likely have a list of numerous accumulated depreciation accounts, one for each fixed asset type. Since the proportion of accumulated depreciation to fixed assets showcases the age of the reporting entity's fixed assets, hence, the accumulated depreciation is said to be useful to investors as well. How can you calculate accumulated depreciation? When it comes to calculating accumulated depreciation, you have to consider using the depreciation calculation for a fixed asset from its acquisition date to the latest date. But it is necessary to calculate the depreciation amounts that were recorded in the general ledger over the life of the asset. This is to ensure that the same calculations were used to record the underlying depreciation transaction. Example of accumulated depreciation. If XY company purchases a robot for $200,000 and the company records the purchase in the machinery fixed asset account, XY company predicts that the robot has a useful life of 10 years and will have no salvage value. So it charges $20,000 for depreciation expense per year for 10 years. The annual entry shows that the credit XY company added to its accumulated depreciation account is as follows: a debit of $20,000 in depreciation expense and a credit of $20,000 in accumulated depreciation. If XY company retires the robot after 10 years, it will record the assets as follows: a debit of $200,000 as its accumulated depreciation and a credit of $200,000 as its asset machinery. From this simple example, you will understand the working principle of accumulated depreciation. Finally, you have to note that you can create a huge impact on your business operation by deploying accumulated depreciation in your financial record. Thank you for staying put to the end, and we hope you learned one or more things about accumulated depreciation. See you in the next episode.